Veterans Day, a celebration of heroes and their sacrifices. Once a year, on November 11th, people in the United States celebrate a very special holiday. It's called Veterans Day, and it's a day to thank people who have been in the military. These people are called veterans, and they worked hard to protect their country. But what exactly is Veterans Day, and why do people celebrate it? Let's find out. The story of Veterans Day. To understand Veterans Day, we need to go back to a time over 100 years ago. In 1918, a terrible war was finally ending. It was called World War I, and millions of soldiers had fought in it. They fought in different countries, and many of them got hurt or died. But on November 11th, 1918, at exactly 11 a.m., the fighting stopped. This was called Armistice Day because an armistice means an agreement to stop fighting. The United States wanted to remember this day forever, so they made Armistice Day a holiday to honor all the soldiers who fought in World War I. But later there were more wars, World War II, the Korean War, and others. Many Americans thought, why honor just the World War I soldiers? Let's honor all the veterans who served our country. So in 1954, they changed the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day. Now Veterans Day is for every veteran, no matter which war they fought in or even if they served in peacetime. Why is Veterans Day important? Veterans Day is very important in the United States. It's a day for people to say thank you to veterans for their bravery and hard work. Veterans make big sacrifices. They leave their families to train and work far from home. They risk their lives to protect people and keep the country safe. For many Americans, veterans are heroes. They are people who show courage, loyalty, and a deep love for their country. On Veterans Day, Americans stop and remember all the ways veterans have helped. It's a day to honor both the veterans who fought in wars and the veterans who served in peacetime. How do people celebrate Veterans Day? Veterans Day is not a party day. It's a day of respect and thankfulness. Here are some of the ways people celebrate. Parades and ceremonies. Many cities hold parades to honor veterans. There are also ceremonies where people gather to remember veterans. In Washington, D.C., there's a famous ceremony at a place called the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is a grave for soldiers who died and were never identified. Moments of silence. At 11 a.m. on Veterans Day, people sometimes stop for a moment of silence. This is a time to quietly think about and honor veterans. Wearing poppies. Some people wear red poppies on Veterans Day. This tradition started during World War I. The red flower reminds people of the blood soldiers shed while fighting. Thanking veterans. Americans often thank veterans in person or over the phone. They might say something like, "Thank you for your service." Some people post messages on social media to show respect and appreciation. Helping veterans. Many people use Veterans Day to donate to organizations that help veterans. These groups offer support to veterans who need jobs, medical care, or mental health help. What veterans face when they come home. Veterans Day also helps people remember that veterans need support. Coming back home after serving in the military can be tough. Many veterans face challenges like finding a job or dealing with health issues. Some veterans return home with injuries, while others need mental health support. Groups all over the U.S. help veterans adjust to civilian life. Veterans Day is a time to remember that veterans deserve help for the sacrifices they made. Veterans Day versus Memorial Day. Some people confuse Veterans Day with another holiday called Memorial Day, but there is a difference. Memorial Day, which happens in May, is a day to honor people who died while serving in the military. Veterans Day, on the other hand, honors all veterans, those who are still with us and those who have passed away. In short, Memorial Day is a day of remembrance for those who died in service, while Veterans Day is a day to thank all who have served, whether in war or peace. Stories of veterans' courage. On Veterans Day, people sometimes hear stories of veterans' courage and bravery. Veterans have been through many challenges and have often risked their lives for others. These stories remind people of the bravery it takes to serve in the military. For example, a veteran named Jessica once shared her story of serving in Afghanistan. She talked about her team's mission to protect a village and how much it meant to see the people there feel safe. Jessica said that the experience taught her the importance of bravery and kindness, even in difficult times. Another veteran named Tom served in Vietnam. On Veterans Day, he talked about the friendships he made and the challenges he faced. Even though it was hard, he held on to hope and courage. Then there's Mark, a veteran of the Gulf War in the early 1990s. Mark was sent to the Middle East during a time when Iraq had invaded Kuwait. His mission was to help defend Kuwait and keep the region safe. Mark remembers the long, harsh days in the desert with the intense heat and sandstorms. He and his fellow soldiers faced constant uncertainty, never knowing what might happen next. But Mark said his training and his trust in his team kept him strong. Even now, he remembers the friendships he made during those days and how those bonds helped him through the hardest times. Veterans like Jessica, Tom, and Mark inspire others with their strength and dedication. Their stories show the courage it takes to serve, and they remind us why it's so important to honor veterans on this special day. What Veterans Day teaches us. Veterans Day is a special holiday. It teaches us that freedom and safety come with a price. Veterans have given up so much: their time, their comfort, and sometimes their lives. They do it to protect the country and help others, even people they don't know. For Americans, Veterans Day is a reminder to be thankful for the freedoms they enjoy. It's a chance to say thank you to the people who make those freedoms possible. It's a day to honor the courage and commitment of these heroes. So, next November 11th, take a moment to remember the people who served. Think about the sacrifices they made and the courage they showed. And if you ever meet a veteran, say a simple thank you. Those two words mean so much to those who have served. Veterans Day reminds us of the importance of gratitude, respect, and helping those who help us. It's a holiday with a big heart and a powerful message, right? And it's one that people of all ages can understand and appreciate.